Good dog, and welcome back to the Norwegian campaign in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Before we click next turn, we have to play this battle here. Yeah. 3 light cruisers versus a heavy. Not the best odds, but let's give it a try. Now, in vanilla, this would probably not be too bad. Let's take a look at top speeds here. Skula is a little bit faster than the others, so actually we're just gonna detach everyone, have them run independently. Let's see, we all have torpedoes. Skula is a little bit short on hers, but mostly there are torpedoes on my cruisers. Oh, Svein has not had a refit for a while. Yeah, these are the my first attempt at building a cheap, low displacement light cruiser just to stash in different ports all around. So yeah, they are oxygen torpedoes, but only 18-inch. Why are they only 18s? Yeah, I remember now. I couldn't fit anything bigger here. That's why they are only 18-inch. Anyway, we're up against this. 8 inches of main belt. Yeah, that's not gonna work, is it? We're not gonna pen that, but could probably go through the extendeds. And of course the superstructure, and of course the second inner belt. Also a bit too thick. We could also just actually, yeah, sink the transport, then retreat. That is an option. Let's see if we can just get close enough. Now let's does outrange the Skula by quite a few kilometers. And we are taking fire now. Why are you only going 27 knots? Darn it. Speed up. And in fact, because that heavy cruiser is maneuvering quite wildly, I will aim my torpedoes at the transport and just hope that the heavy cruiser finds itself in between, which it almost did. Ah, yeah, Skula is taking a bit of a punishment here. Not looking too good for this light cruiser. Taking a lot of attention from that heavy cruiser. But I might get lucky with these torpedoes. I did not get lucky. And I think that was mostly down to RNG, because the angle didn't look that bad. It was a pretty flat impact. Can I intercept it again? And try and save Skula? Probably not. No, it's too late. Too late for that. Well, Svein is probably the toughest ship here. I seem to remember it having pretty decent resistance. Still no flash fire on the German heavy cruiser. So we're pretty much just down to hoping we get lucky with torpedoes. And we're gonna lose Svein too, I guess. Unless it's a perfect cruiser-shaped gap in between the torpedoes. I got 3 more coming in. Well, 2 more. One of them detonated in the water. And we're completely out of torpedoes, so that is not something that will play a part anymore. Here come the weather. There we go. Lutzow engine damage. And he's out of AP. Embla still in good shape. Gonna try and assist the Svein. as long as possible. And if that doesn't work out, we're just gonna have to retreat. While it's still possible. I think Svein might succumb to crew loss. Because Lützow is out of armor-piercing rounds for the 9-inch guns. Okay, both aft turrets are destroyed. That why she's not firing back. Got it. Let's try with AP for a little bit. There we go. That's suddenly a lot more effective. Why were we not firing AP from the start? Embla. Has her smoke launchers back up. If we can take out the tower on the Lützow. Nope. Guess we cannot save Svein. I was hoping if we could hit the main tower, destroy it on the Lützow, and then Svein could use her smoke launchers. Together with the storm, that might break line of sight. I guess not. So it's just for Embla to get away here. Luckily, we're going quite a bit faster than Lützow in her current state. If we can just get a little bit more flooding, actually. Just a little bit more flooding. Am I about to get greedy here? And risk Embla in hopes of killing Lützow. Because that might be just enough to make this a win. Because Svein was a very cheap ship. That first light cruiser I lost was quite a bit more expensive, but combined, I think they should still be cheaper than Lützow. And we also got the transport. So there we go. Let's see, is that enough to count as a win? It is. It's a very very narrow margin, but a win is a win. Too bad about this loss, though. Skula. But at least we can always build more of those. Now let's see, where do we stand now? I'm wondering if it might be worth agreeing to an alliance with Britain, just to bring their army in to help me here. because there's really not that much else I can do. Well, I guess I could launch naval invasions, but being limited to only one naval invasion per month makes that a little bit hard. I think I will say yes to an alliance with Britain. And France, I guess, but they don't have that much of an army to begin with. Britain has a decent sized army. So they might actually be of some help. Alright. And yeah, if I do ally with France and Britain, I can just break the alliance after the war, and relations are back to 0, and that'll actually be much easier than trying to work down from plus 99. And I guess they gave me money. Yeah. And I saw Russia has actually laid down a bunch of new ships. That's the first time I see them building ships in a very, very long time. We'll see if any of them actually make it to completion before Russia is done. Worcester class light cruiser. Let's go. Yeah, this should not be a fair fight. Let's see. Let's just have the battleships take care of this. Battlecruisers are a little bit short on ammo. Battleships too, I guess, but they should be able to manage. And the US Navy has been so much reduced now that I don't think they're gonna have to be engaged in any big battles anytime soon. So Omaha has spotted Gungnir and Surtol. But where is Omaha? She's up in this direction. I can tell. There she is. What kind of cruiser is Omaha? It's one of these. It's a lot of 7.7-inch guns. Let's see, we're gonna get any hits here soon at 33 kilometers. Got one, but it was blocked. Oh, hiding in smoke. There we go. It is visible again. And there she goes. It's a brutal salvo there by who was that? Surtol. With the killing blow. Very nice. And next up, it's Lübeck class light cruiser. It's gonna be the lucky one to take on that thing. Well, the Heimdall cruisers, maybe, or Haughty, perhaps. Let's see. And the choice actually fell on the battlecruiser Kronan, because she only had a trained crew, suddenly. So I need to farm some experience here. She has lost some crew in a previous battle. I guess maybe that's why the crew training level has been reduced. It should be an easy enough fight. First flooding hits. Let's drop down to cruising speed. A bit more flooding. And I think the 7-inch guns here should actually be able to do quite a bit of damage. But maybe that's not needed. Yeah, that was a massive 14-inch hit right before the end there, doing some 14,000 damage or something. And it's this thing again. We're just gonna keep withdrawing. My battlecruisers are faster than it, so that should not be a problem. Yeah, okay. Why is this not with the rest of the formation? I don't know, but we're gonna withdraw it. I accidentally clicked past something. There was something that had been conquered by something. Let's see, we got one more month here. Yeah, probably New Brunswick, taken by the American Army. Oh well. They do have a battleship here now. Let's see. Oh, and I've taken Eastern Germany. Very nice. Schleswig-Holstein class battleship. So they have another battleship now. Okay. It's a port strike with ships that I have in port. That's new. I don't think I've seen that before. Sure. Darn it. I was hoping we'd damage it. Wait, no. Darn it. Double darn it. That was a port strike. I'm so used to port strikes not having any actual ships defending it, so they can only be auto-resolved, but I guess that could have been played manually, couldn't it? What a waste. What an absolute waste. Well, you can't really change that now. This is going through. That's fine. And it's probably not even needed because the army is taking it. This will go well. How about Western Germany? $816,000 tons. I don't have that kind of tonnage. But I can take northeast China. There we go. That'll go well, I think. Yeah, 42,000 tons. No problem. And I would like to see my army here just march into southern Siberia. That would be a pretty easy win, actually. So we're taking Maine, and then we're gonna have to take New Brunswick back. Hopefully this should be successful next month. So I can send this task force here up to do something somewhere else. There's a lot of American DDs hanging around. Hedgingstad still being repaired. Let's do these battles. Light cruiser on light cruiser. Let's go. Man, I got annoyed at myself for auto-resolving that port strike battle now. That could have been another battleship that I could have just damaged enough for it to just be stuck being repaired for the remainder of the war, and then I could pick it up as war operations. That would have been ideal. But at least we're gonna fight this light cruiser. It should not be too much of a challenge. It's at 20 kilometers, so we should be opening fire pretty soon. There we go. Let's drop down to cruising speed of... Wow, okay, the cruising speed is not very high on these, because they got geared turbines. I'm not sure if my torpedoes are gonna hit, but let's give it a try. Probably not gonna be needed. Now I do want you to fire AP. There we go. Getting those main belt pens. And it is going down. Nice. And the other one here is, it's a bit more of a battle. Oh, it's one of these. My other cheap port defense kind of patrol light cruiser up against a St. Louis. However, while it is quite a bit more pricey than the Jallarhorn, I don't think it's gonna win. I mean, it's got the speed, it just does not have the firepower. So, as long as I can avoid the torpedoes, we should be fine. So I think I want to have the J-33 take care of the enemy DDs in a destroyer fight. Can this take on 2 American destroyers by itself, though? I guess maybe? Langley is already spotting my ships. There she is. And now invisible again. Let's see, we're gonna target Evans. Let's use torpedoes as well. Might get some hits here. Maybe. Potentially. Or were all the torpedoes targeted at the light cruiser? That was not my intention, but I missed anyway. The enemy DDs have launched. And the enemy light cruiser is chasing down the J-33. That's also not really what I wanted. But at least I think we're gonna get away. Maybe. But I have to get away this direction or I'm just gonna be leading the enemy ships away from my light cruiser, which is not something I want. So it was either losing my DD or not getting to fight, because the enemy ships would run away. Let's see, the secondaries are focused on that on the Evans. Evans has surrendered. Cone is next for my secondaries. And Gjallarhorn is just soaking up everything. Really getting stuck in. With all guns blazing. Gjallarhorn has still says 0 damage taken. I guess it's just so little that it's been rounded down. Okay, we're taking a little bit now at point blank range, but it's almost nothing. So I think the most important thing my destroyer did was to bait the enemy torpedoes. Yeah, there we go. Alright. See, these are of course being repaired because someone clicked autoresolve instead of fighting the battle manually. Let's see, what do the Germans have left? One battleship, one battle cruiser. The battleship is here. And it is just failing to fight my two battle cruisers. That's fine. They can keep that up. Now, as for my little Vinland saga here, assuming this is going to be successful, these ships, once the invasion is done, they're going to go up here, re-invade New Brunswick, and then we're just going to invade our way down across the eastern seaboard. That's kind of my plan. As for Germany, I guess we can take Western Poland and Prussia. We need to be in the Baltic Sea for that. There's of course not much preventing the Germans from taking back Eastern Germany with their army. I don't have a lot defending it. My armies might take Romania. That would be nice. Let's see. Where is the invasion book gonna pop up? Tianjin or Haichao? It's gonna be one of the two. We're 2 months away from getting the Mark V 20-inch gun. How's my shipbuilding capacity? Not too bad. Let's see. Admirals getting replaced. Strike battles. This time with no defenders. And one meeting battle. We have taken Panama. Great. Another Worcester. Let's see. I can send some battleships, I guess. Or something. And I decided to just let the battleships do it. Let's see, we're gonna continue on this course, drop down to our cruising speed. And just watch the fireworks. And there she goes. Nice. I mean, no further comment needed there. Still losing some transports, but let's see, I'm losing Eastern Turkey. As I said, not really that much I can do to prevent the army stuff. I've taken South Honshu and Panama. Ooh, the German battleship has moved. It is, are you trying to invade Helgoland? Perhaps. Let's see. Yes, now the British Army is actually helping me out here. At least in some of the invasions. Oh no! Because you decided to make peace with America, didn't you? Suddenly. Well, What a useless ally you turn out to be. I guess they're still kind of helping with Germany, but it's not really that important, is it? Okay, so here's that invasion. Centered on Tianjin. So let's go there. 200,000 tons. Oh, I don't have the tonnage for that. This task force does, though. It's a bit bigger. So they're gonna go there. This task force will... what will they do? Southern Siberia? Perhaps? Now let's deal with New Brunswick. Ooh, this is gonna be hard when it comes to it, because that's a lot of tonnage required. To take eastern USA and the southeastern seaboard. St. John. And I guess we're just gonna have to fight that battleship in the process. But that's fine. At least we took Panama, so now I can finally move freely between the Caribbean and the Pacific. And the army invasion here of southern Colombia seems to be actually advancing, which is good. Tanngrisnir gets to sink a Lübeck class light cruiser and a destroyer. I think I might just leave the DD out of this. Or at the very least, just let it stay behind. You can do donuts here. That way it doesn't just sail far, far away. It sticks around. So I think the V4 is a bigger threat than Leipzig. .9 kilometer torpedoes. The convoy is almost in torpedo range. Let's see, guns on that destroyer. Torpedoes can focus München. DDV4 has spent her torpedoes, which means we got incoming. There they are. Being standard torpedoes, I could see them from quite a distance. And the V4 goes down. Now on to Leipzig. Let's gotta check. These are not... No, these are not torpedo transports. That's always such a nasty surprise when you're not expecting it. And suddenly you have a lot of incoming torpedoes from the transports. The actual Q ships. Secondaries can take out the transports. Did not get any torpedo hits on the light cruiser, but did get some of the transports. Not that it's like that important. Because the transports are easy kills anyway. Just keep the secondaries on them for a couple of seconds and they surrender. Alright. Yeah. These are pretty effective light cruisers. I want to make a design based on these, but just slightly better. Because I think I've got better radar and sonar since I built these. So let's actually go about doing that. Let's see, these ships first. Before I do anything else. They need to just be down here in this circle and make sure the Germans don't invade Helgoland. Yeah. Alright. So yeah, Maine, New Brunswick. Not sure about the Gulf Coast. I would probably no, I could perhaps invade the Gulf Coast. I'm not sure if it requires that much tonnage actually compared to southeastern seaboard and eastern USA, because the required tonnage for a naval invasion is mostly based on the port capacity of the region. Alright, let's see. Ship design. I guess I can it's gonna be sad, but I guess I can delete these ships soon, because I don't have them anymore. Now, where is Tanngrisnir? There you are. I only have one left. Well, I guess we need to build some more then. So, let's do that by first designing a refit and then copying the refit design. First things first, let's give it modern 2 armor. Upgrade torpedo mark. Do these still turn? Yeah, they still work. And we're gonna go from sonar 1 to sonar 3, suddenly overweight, and radar 1 to radar 3. And from cordite 3 to, let's see, triple base. And I guess I can also just max out the barbette. Still a little bit of a flash fire chance, but not too bad. Now for the engines. There you go. Gas turbines. Maintenance is 15.3 million a month. What was it with the gear turbines and the balanced boilers? 20.8. Okay, so we're just making it cheaper then. Good. I mean, cheaper and better? Can you really ask for more? I don't think so. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's add some conning tower armor on this. A little bit more. Let's add some superstructure armor on this. Mm, a little bit of main deck. That should be equal to 2 inches. Let's see. 7.5, 55. Let's give it a bit more turret armor. Still got 100 tons to play with. Ooh, Anti-Flood 3 is quite a bit heavier than Anti-Flood 2. I mean, that's a nice increase in ship repair, but the water pumping is not that different. Like when you go from Anti-Flood 1 to 2, you double the water pumping. And you gain, well, 2.5% hull weight. But for 3% more hull weight, you only get 5% more water pumping. So that's kind of why I typically stick to Anti-Flood 2. Shaft 3, sure, why not? Maximum bulkheads, suddenly a bit overweight there. And if I would also want auto reloading 2, well, we're a bit heavier again. I can reduce that back down to what it was. Okay, we're 40 tons overweight, but we're still cheaper than before the refit, so that's good. Let's see. What else can I save weight on? Here. 40 tons. Not that much. I'm not sure what I want to save save on. I can turn these down to 60s. Maybe that can save some. It's making like no difference. That made almost no difference. So never mind that. Electric one steering. What to do? 5 on the conning tower. It's not that much of a difference again. It's quite minor. I guess I could replace these with twins. It doesn't save too much that either. The ones on the sides. I want to keep the quads up here though because well, they look cool. But that did save some weight. And I'm not saving too much weight on replacing the torpedoes either with quads. Weight difference is just not that great. I do want maximum bulkheads though. It's a really nice thing to have, but I guess if we cannot have it, then we cannot have it. And I'm back to just putting more weight on these things instead. Fine. Be that way. Can I make these 3.5s? Yes, I can. Adds a bit of penetration, adds a bit of range, and a bit more punch. That's nice. But the most important parts here are probably better radar and better sonar. Yeah, I think we're probably close to just calling this a pretty good ship, actually. So we're just gonna save that, and then copy the refit design. And I was gonna be boring and just call it Tanngrisnir 2, but that name is similar enough that I want to keep it. However, I just remembered that in an effort to save weight, I turned these from quads down to doubles, and I don't need that. So we're turning them back into quads, like so. And that is the ship we're now gonna build a few of. Alright. Yeah, we got quite a bit of spare port capacity here. So I want to build 12 of them, a full dozen. And we're going to place these down in different ports. We get the Skule and Svein back again. We lost those at the start of the episode, so the game has decided that nope, I'm going to get new ones. But that is it for this episode. The Vinland Saga will continue next time, where we invade our way down here. Maybe except for eastern USA and southeastern seaboard, just because I'm not sure if I can gather enough tonnage. But okay, maybe not western USA either. But New Brunswick, Maine, and Gulf Coast, they are on the list. And in Europe, well, gonna be focused around the Black Sea first and foremost, and then here in the Far East. I want to make Russia disappear. Goodbye, and take care.